We want to bring in Fox Weather Correspondent Katie Byrne again, joining us from Wildwood, New Jersey. Looking at some of the wind reports, Katie, that we've been getting, I was checking in at Cape May. We're seeing these persistent gusts between 25 and 35 miles an hour. You're not too far away.
We're not, and I believe it when I hear those numbers because those winds feel intense here. We've been in North Wildwood since early this morning around 5 o'clock, and it feels like the winds have just gotten stronger. The rain has been on and off. It started off pretty heavy for a couple hours there, but for the last 2 hours or so, we've had a little bit of a break. Still, I'm seeing some ponding in the roads, so a little bit of freshwater flooding, I think, for now. People are especially concerned, though, about high tide and tidal flooding that may come from this round of weather. If you look behind me, you'll see a seawall here in North Wildwood. This is a point where, we do tend to see some of that coastal flooding. So around high tide, we spoke with the mayor. He says you can expect to see water crashing over the seawall. We already saw a little bit of that earlier this morning, and we're still hours away from high tide. Just something to keep in mind for people in the area, if they're local residents or if they're visiting. But this could be a scene that plays out up and down the coast. We have every East Coast state north of North Carolina expected to see rain from this storm system today. So where we are in North Wildwood, I mean, all over really the Jersey Shore and the Delaware coast, we've been in somewhat of a dry spell since the nor'easter a couple weeks ago. That was a powerful, potent one. It brought widespread flooding across the region. One short town north of us, Point Pleasant, picked up around 3.5 inches of rain during that event. But the same storm triggered a ton of erosion along the New Jersey and the Delaware coasts. We could see sand washed away, dunes are damaged here as well, and we've seen steep drop-offs where beaches used to be. That sand have just been eaten up by the ocean. One town even declared a local state of emergency over in Ocean City because of the erosion. So here in North Wildwood, erosion isn't a new issue. It's been a long-standing issue. They've been spending a lot of money for years now trying to protect the shore and keep the homes and businesses safe here. I've been speaking with the mayor. He just joined us about a half hour ago, and he was talking about how, they really haven't gotten a break this past year as far as the storms go to give them a chance to replenish their beaches.
Not at this location. That's why we have this very hefty seawall behind us. So, but a little further south of here, where it's covered in water right now, that was sand, particularly before Erin hit in August. So it's that repetitive nature of these storms, these coastal storms, that are the big concern. And it's only the end of October, right? So we have a long winter ahead of us.
Yeah, those nor'easters become a big concern for, of course, any coastal community because they just bring those rough, powerful waves. This isn't a nor'easter, but the mayor says it's not uncommon to see water all the way up to this jetty system here. But on the other side of us, you would typically be able to see the sand and walk on the beach, but you can't do that. It's all underwater, and we're still hours away from high tide, you guys.
Not a technical nor'easter, but still an onshore wind, and a persistent one and a strong one. Yeah, it's interesting, Katie, because I've been watching various beach replenishment operations up and down the Jersey Shore because, as the mayor said, there just hasn't really been a break. So, heaven forbid we see some nor'easter action heading in through the winter. Yet again, paying attention to beach erosion.
Rain has stopped?
The rain has stopped, which is nice. It's a nice break, but I'm still seeing some water in the streets. And those beach replenishment projects, I mean, we've been covering these for years. I was over in North Jersey earlier this summer, just a couple months ago, where the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers was wrapping up a project over in Brick, New Jersey, near the Manasquan Inlet, and a number of beaches where they just filled those beaches with sand. And that's where we saw some of the highest rainfall totals from the nor'easter. So much of that sand just got washed away.
Yeah. Katie's been busy following these coastal systems, not so much these tropical systems, but paying attention to Wildwood, New Jersey, with the wind concern especially, along with the coastal concerns. Fox Weather Correspondent Katie Byrne out of Wildwood, New Jersey this morning. Thanks, Katie.
And you can imagine, with what Katie's been dealing with, that there are some trouble.